They're pretty steep.
Slick as hell.
Welcome back to the channel. Rocky Minute here. This channel is all about filmmaking and action sport. And we're back to the studio. Actually, this is the first episode of a visual podcast or show or whatever you want to call it. And it's called Danish Hills, where we have some guests in. We talk with them about what their experience is related to mountain bike and talking about their profiles, which are their ideas and stuff like that. So if you like this kind of content and you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. And also leave a comment or a like. And we have Daniel here from Team AirTech. Come on in.
Hello.
Thank you, man. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for being.
Yeah. Just like, let's go. Can you tell us who you are? And
Yeah, my name is Daniel. I'm 34 years old. Still going strong. I ride for Team AirTech, and I'm a part of the Danish Downhill board and arranges the Danish Downhill Cup.
So can you tell us how you started riding and how did you get into the mountain bike world?
Well, I started riding BMX when I lived in Copenhagen many years ago. Street BMX, a little freestyle. Never really got good at it, but I loved riding bikes, and I was hanging out in what's called Fælledparken. And some guys showed up there with their like monsters of bikes.
Like this one.
Pretty much like this one. I actually think some guy showed up with a Super Monster T 300mm front fork.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that looks cool. Then I started watching freeride videos, New World Disorder. There is an old Danish freeride video with our old guy Søren Kusch in it. I watched that without knowing what the hell mountain biking really was. Then I moved to Aalborg, where my friend also rode BMX, and we rode a little BMX. We built up his old dirt jumper and started riding a little on that. Then I moved to where I live now in Holstebro, and my boss gave me a sack of money.
Okay.
You haven't had vacation for a year. Here's a sack of money. Thank you. I'll go buy a bike. So the day after,
that was a good decision, though.
Really good decision. I went out and just took every bicycle store in the city. Looked for the best full suspension mountain bike I could find for the money I had.
A straight full suspension.
Straight full suspension.
Okay.
No kidding around here. Just full send. Bought it. Upgraded basically everything on that bike. Changed the front fork to a 170. Put a coil on it. Really made it a little freeride bike.
Which bike was that?
That was a Ghost.
Okay.
A Ghost trail bike.
A decent bike.
130.
Okay.
130.
Okay, you really went big with the 170.
I upped it to 170, which probably wasn't the best idea, but it was a starting point.
Yeah. And
I rode that until my skills got too much for the bike. Sold it and bought my Alutech 180 enduro bike, and raced that in 2017 for the first time in the Danish Downhill Cup. I had ridden a little mini enduro before in Denmark, but then joined the Downhill Cup in Rude also.
Yeah.
Also my first race.
Okay.
Did a practice run. I came over there all alone, all by myself. During a practice run, I case a little rock landing and actually destroyed a Mavic.
The D-Max.
No, a Mavic Enduro wheel.
Okay.
I knocked the spokes out of the hub.
Oh. That was a proper hit, though.
That was a proper hit. And I really fell in love with the downhill community there, because it took about 5 minutes, and then 6 people were around me trying to fix my bike, because I'm here all by myself. And the level of help and wanting me to get back on the bike and ride really meant something. It was really heartwarming being in that group and feeling like this community really wants you to do good. Even though it might cost them a little time that they have to go to a bike shop and fix your wheel. But we all help each other.
Did you get it fixed?
No.
I've been in that situation too.
We straightened out the rim with a rock. And we removed the broken spokes. And I rode it.
Yeah. That's also free, right?
And it went well. It went well. The year after that, I was riding the Alutek, and I did the exact same thing. Same place, same rock, cased it again, blew a couple of spokes, and our photographer at that point had a fix for it. Just took my spokes, squeezed them together, put a zip tie around it, and said, "Go." And it worked. And I ended up in the top 10 that year as well.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
pretty stoked.
Okay. How do you think has the Danish mountain bike evolved in the last years?
It's been insane. It's gone from XC-minded people, and then suddenly the trail, enduro, and downhill scene has just exploded over the last couple of years. So it's been really great being a part of and helping bringing that forward. The kind of riding I love, which is downhill.
Yeah. And why downhill, man?
The adrenaline.
Yeah.
The adrenaline rush of just going fast, going big, going rowdy. As I have on the top tube of my race bike, it says rough AF, and I just love that.
That's from Jordi.
That's from Jordi.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I met you like in the first race I did here in Wood near Copenhagen. And I remember you all the guys having a blast, and it was like really cool for me coming from outside, like finding some people to talk and hang out a little bit. And I still haven't not get used to the mud. I'm still getting in trouble.
We have quite a lot of mud in Denmark. That's just how it is. That's as we say in Danish, mudder er puder.
Mudder er puder.
So
what does it mean?
You know the powder the girls use. So we have that. Mud is just a part of being a rider in Denmark. That's just something you have to live with because we have the seasons we have. We don't have an all-round summer. We have changing seasons, and the riding condition just changes, and they change a lot. That also makes for some interesting riding during the year.
Today we were riding together. We were in Munkebjerg. What did you think about the ride we had today? It was pretty cool, huh?
It was pretty cool. It was slick as hell. The routes were like really sniper routes today, really wet. It had rained this morning, and so it was interesting. But Munkebjerg is just such a great place to ride. It dries up really quick, so the dirt is prime. There's a lot of loam, a lot of good lines. Really a place to send it.
And really, at least from my side, what I feel when I go, it's like I'm a little bit back on more mountains. Not only because the trails are decent long, but also like they're pretty steep. Actually, you did ride one steep with Facu today. That was
that was steep as hell. But I would range that as one of the steepest little sections in Denmark. It was near vertical through a little berm, and that was tricky.
Yeah,
I didn't make the first berm, and as I'm sure the footage will show, Facu crashed the first berm. But I cleaned the lower part of the section, so that was cool.
And I think also like today was like really soft there, so
yeah,
it was very hard anyway to make that turn.
On a dry day, it would be a whole different story, and that's again what really exaggerates the ride here, because you can go 2 different days. One is dry, the next one is just a mud fest.
Yeah.
Just a callback to the Ry-afdeling we had in the Danish Downhill Cup this year.
Oh man.
We were practicing in the sun, and it was so nice, and then come race day the day after, it's a mud fest and it's snowing, and it was crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty tough that one. I actually pulled out for the second run,
Yeah.
and if I have to be honest, I don't regret it.
No,
Like, I saw Falco going down. He was one of the last ones, and I was like, wow.
we had a lot of riders and who neglected to ride track number 2 because the conditions was just,
That was insane.
it was appalling. It was horrible.
Yeah,
But
especially
but the show has to go on. The race has to go.
and especially the second one. When you get after the first turn and you had that straight, that off-camber section was kind of okay, but once you had past that and you were plowing through the rock garden, you could not see the rocks anymore.
You could not see the rocks, and you had to make a turn in the rock garden, which you
Yeah.
can't see, and it was just there was one of the participants who took a little cell phone video of the rock garden where you can actually see the mud flowing down through the rocks,
Yeah.
like a little lava flow or something. It was crazy.
So let's talk about a little bit this year. It's been a great year of racing.
We've had a great season. We've had a lot of participants, a lot of racers. It's been great. We started out a bit rough with all of the corona restrictions. That made it difficult to actually do the races with so many who joined. We've actually doubled the number of participants to the year before, and that made for a difficult race. But during the season, as the corona restrictions was lifted, we've had some really great races. We've had some great community, and people have really wanted to be there and do something for the sport. And it's been great.
And it also feels like the young kids are really pushing it hard. It feels like there's gonna be a good generation renewal.
Yeah.
If you want to say it like that, it feels like really that's they're gonna push up the sport here.
They're gonna bring the sport to what we want it to be. We have to really take care of those young riders, and we have to help them thrive and get better. We have to challenge them, but also support them. So we're really hoping for some great riders in the future coming from the Danish Downhill Cup. We're looking forward to that.
Actually, it's cool because right now the fastest rider in the cup it's a junior.
It's a junior rider. It's we can just say it's Sixten Lind.
Yeah,
He's
we can say. I think everyone knows it.
Everyone knows Sixten really rips when he points the bike downhill.
Yeah.
Actually, he ended up this year as the overall winner without racing the last race.
Yeah, because he won the four.
He won every race, so he didn't have to race the last one, and he was injured and couldn't race.
And how did he get overall? With the also taking into consideration the open category.
He was overall winner in his class. Overall winner, I do believe, was Mads Sølbæk.
No.
If you take all categories into account, but we don't have an overall.
Okay.
But in the open class,
the open class was Magnus, right?
Tobias Grav.
Yeah.
Tobias Grav took it again this year for the second year in a row, closely followed by Mads. So he was close to taking it. Mads had some spills during the season.
Yeah, he was a little bit unlucky.
Yeah, and that has cost him the top one. He really wanted it, but I'm sure we'll see him back next year, putting on a fight.
And he's actually been riding mountain bike not for that long. He comes from
he comes from motocross and has moved into both downhill and EVS. He's actually been riding a few EVS races, which is really cool.
Yeah, it actually is. So, what can I expect new? Is there anything new for next year?
For next year, we're working on a few new venues. I can't really say too much about that because not all has been confirmed yet. Yeah, so we're working on 2, maybe 3 new locations. One is outside the Danish borders, because that gives
That
us the
one
opportunity.
That's a good one.
That will be, if we can get it to work out, it will be the best edition, I think. It will be a proper downhill race with like
Longer track.
2-minute runs and stuff, which is all downhill, no pedaling. So we're looking forward to that and hoping that can work out. We are working on setting up some more accommodations around the races. There has been a wish from our growing female rider group to have some toilet facilities, so that is gonna that is gonna happen. That's not just something we're working on, that's gonna happen. There's gonna be toilet facilities at all races, which is gonna be great. It seems like a small thing, but it's really gonna help,
because most of the times we're in the middle of nowhere.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
If we talk about, let's say, Roy or Mols, you have nothing.
You have nothing to go to.
Like Spanggaard, you have that little hole on the ground.
Yeah. They have their own little nature toilet. Yeah.
But
that's actually the only place we have that. Then we're also working on getting some food and drinks to the races. We're working on talking with different food trucks in the local areas where we're having the races.
That would be crazy.
If they want to support us and show up with their truck and sell some food to all the contestants. So
actually, like the only challenge I imagine is that they need to cover a minimum.
Yeah, but as we had one in Svendborg this year, a bit of as a test.
And it worked well. It was full. It was full the whole weekend.
Full the whole weekend, and he had stated that he had to sell 80 servings, and on the first day he sold 90 plus.
Okay.
And on the second day he sold so many he had to shut down because
I remember
he had no more food.
Yeah.
So that's something we're working on. So new venues, more accommodations, toilets. And then we have one big thing, which I haven't mentioned, which is our new timing system.
Yeah.
There is going to be a new timing system. We're going to keep the start gate, which is downhill. We all know that, pulling up to the yellow stick, hearing the beeps and getting ready to go.
It's part of the sport.
It's part of the sport for all of us. But we are going to do it with chip timing. So we also can have a split time. So we have a mat you drive over as soon as you ride through the gate. We have a mat on the middle of the track, which gives you a split time. And then the next rider rides, so we can also have more riders ride during the day.
It will also like make the whole process a little bit faster, because some of the times we have like they're long days, and it will make for a less.
It will make for a more flowy race situation.
Yeah.
During practice, it's gonna be the same. We're all just gonna ride and send it and see if we can go faster. But on race day, it's gonna be more flowy. We're gonna have more control, and we're gonna eliminate timing faults.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing.
Mess, for example, Sulbek, which has been hit at least in 2 races where the timing failed and he had to do the run again. That will not happen.
Yeah, that's actually sad, in a sense that it's the riders put their commitment, especially the top ones, that they're there to win, so they're really pushing hard.
And when they push hard and have to do it again, the level is just not the same.
Yeah.
They put it all on that one run, and if they are then crossing the finish line and then being told you gotta do it again, it really messes them up. It really does. So we want to eliminate that.
I think timing is a great way to upgrade something that it's really for the rider. Yeah. Because at the end, it's the ones that we're gonna feel it. When you're racing, like no matter what, you're gonna have a time.
No matter what, you're gonna have a time, but that the time is precise and that it works. And that it works the all first time.
Yeah.
What's the new timing system is gonna give us? It's gonna give us an opportunity to open up for timed practices as well.
I was gonna ask you.
Which is gonna make the whole training day a whole lot different. because people can suddenly start to see the difference between lines and choices you do down the track, which you haven't been able to before.
So let's say we have like one timed lap on each side, or just track one, or
we have been debating within the board of on how to do this within our race setup, because we are a little race league. We're not UCI.
Yeah.
So what we've been discussing, and which hasn't been finally decided yet, but I can talk about it here, no problem, is that there's gonna be an open training on the training day, as there has always been. That's not gonna really change. That's also gonna keep the social aspect of it around the training day, which is a mainly social day.
Yeah.
We all hang out, we talk lines, we joke, we have fun. Then the race day is gonna change. The open practice is gonna disappear. There's then gonna be a set number of timed practices in the morning.
Okay.
Then there's gonna be a qualifying.
Okay.
Which we have debated and has not been decided yet, should be point giving. Like the UCI has, they have points for their qualifying.
Yeah.
It's not the same as the races.
Obviously not.
Lower points. But they actually have a great meaning once it comes to the overall. So there's going to be time practice, qualifying, race.
And taking into consideration what we were talking before, that you can have more than one rider.
You can have more than one rider on the track. We can have 2, maybe 3, whether the track allows it. I think if you let let 3 people ride Svendborg at the same time, they're gonna crash into each other at some point. The track is just too short for that. But in Mols, for example, we could easily have 3 riders on the track at the same time. But we're working with the setup of 2 riders.
I think riders, like for the conditions we have, like we're talking about a minute, little bit more each run. It makes sense. It's like almost like 30 seconds.
Yeah. It all depends on how many participants we have. At the moment, this year we set a maximum of 80 due to time restraints. Next year we are gonna open it up to 100 or 150. We haven't set a determination yet. I do think it's gonna be 150, so we can have more with us, more joining the downhill family.
You think this year was sold out?
This year was sold out. Every race has been sold out. We have actually had to turn down a few riders this year due to we have 80. A big wish I personally have is that the ones that sign up for a entire season,
they go all to races.
If they know they're not showing up to a race, please let us know.
Yeah,
because we have people waiting for the spot.
I remember I said it back when I said it for Wood.
Yeah.
And unluckily, like I couldn't say it for the last one, but it was not planned. The car.
Yeah.
I think that's accidents or.
Yeah, of course, if you are riding to the trail and your car breaks down on the way to the trail,
that's okay.
You can't really do anything about it. But if you
know it a couple of weeks before
ahead that I'm not going to be able to, just let us know, because then I know there's somebody else wanting to go downhill instead. So
yeah, that's actually a good point, because you can see that there's a lot of races that there was less people than the others. For example, I don't know why, but Mols always has less people than other races, and it's funny because it's one of the best ones, I would say.
Actually, in Mols, I think we had almost 55 riders going through, which is a record for that outing in the last couple of years. So that was really great, but we would love to see it full. Mols is a little bit special because it's the other tracks we have are in the middle of nowhere, but Mols is like really in the middle of nowhere. So I think that has something to do with it. Timing wise has also been a bit tough this year. and also with Corona and all,
Yeah.
which has really been an eyesore for us this year. It's really been tough working with.
Yeah. So how did you manage this year with it? Because I remember the first we had like
the first couple of races we actually, due to the fact that we are an organization as we are under DGI, Danish Gymnastic, that allowed us to do the same as they do in motocross, where they split up the rider group in a maximum of 50, because that was allowed. So we did the same. We had a group for onlookers, for the crowd, and then we had 2 rider groups of 40, which actually worked out pretty good. People were really good at keeping the restrictions and staying in their group, and that really helped us a lot, that we didn't have to do as much policing around that. I did a little, and I had to yell at some people and tell them, get back in your... But I don't like being the police guy, but somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
And that's just it, how it is. Hopefully next year we'll all be vaccinated and had our booster shots and everything, so no corona restrictions next year.
Yeah, let's hope so.
It's just gonna be a party.
So I want to ask you, you brought a really special bike today with us. Yeah.
The bike behind us.
The tank.
The tank. I actually rode most of the season on this bike. It's an oldie.
Yeah, I know.
It's an 03 Specialized big hit, with an 03 Masachi Shiver front fork. Weighs just about 20 kilos.
But you have the mullet, or not anymore?
No, it's set up 24.
Okay.
People go for the big wheels. I went the other way and went for smaller wheels. So, but that bike actually brought me to a top 10 this year.
Okay.
So I finished 10th overall.
Okay.
On the tank. Next year, the tank is gonna make an appearance again. Probably not for all the races, because I have another downhill bike being built up.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna race next year.
Yeah.
Also Specialized, also an oldie. I'm a sucker for the old bikes.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's part of it makes it a little bit more personal, let's say.
Yeah. Riding this 24-inch beast with 680 wide bars and old 2-piston brakes and a 36-tooth chain ring, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Just plain fun. It wasn't fast, but it was fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like, because everyone's obsessed like with race, but we both do it for fun.
My main goal with the Downhill Cup is giving others some place to race and to show how fast they are. I have a lot of fun. I want to have fun with my friends going downhill, and that's also a big part of the Danish Downhill Cup.
Yeah.
There is the race part, which we all want. As soon as we are in the gate, we want to go as fast as possible. I went as fast as possible on this one. That has its limitations, though, but I went as fast as I could. And we all want to do that. As soon as we're in the gate and the beeps start, the race mode turns on for all of us. But as soon as we cross the finish line, or we're standing outside the tape looking at our friends, we just want them to do well. And
that's a good part.
And that is why I'm doing this.
Because like you can see it in maybe mountain bike in general, like it has like this community feeling, but especially downhill.
Especially downhill, also enduro to an extent. Enduro is a little more competitive.
Yeah.
And a little more clicky. It's like, you guys are over there, we are over here, we're not on the same team. In downhill, until you're at the gate, everybody's on the same team, basically. Everybody wants everybody to do as well as they can.
Yeah.
We have had, I have stood, when I rode for Team Sportguide, I have been standing with my competitors, direct competitors, looking at the same line, discussing what to do, and taking advice from them and giving advice the other way. Because that's what it's all about, helping each other. getting faster, having fun downhill.
It has no, as we talked before, we're a little race league, so it doesn't make really sense to just go like full competition mode, not talk to each other, because
That's not what it's about.
let's just say it clear, it's not a World Cup. So
No, it's not the UCI World Cup, and the Danish Downhill Cup has to be a springboard for the young guns and for the open riders who want to take it a step up. They have to have some place to start. They have to have somewhere to dip in their toes.
Yeah.
And the Danish Downhill Cup gives them that. If they then want to go really race like crazy downhills, join the ISX World Tour in Germany, for example. Lots of races there.
Yeah.
But you gotta have some place to start.
Yeah.
And for a junior, like, just take in Mols. We had last year, that was, we had a 6-year-old rider.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not gonna compete in IXX. But
Now,
he can compete in Danish Downhill Cup, and we can mold him, and we can help him get the skills that he needs to, when he gets old enough, he can join the bigger race leagues. We have a big stopping block in Denmark, which is the lack of mountains.
Yeah, but I think you make the most of it.
We make the most of it, and that is why we also do 2 runs, so we actually get the possibility of a timing difference. So
yeah. So today we did some racing.
We did a little racing.
We don't know the exact times. I'm pretty sure Facu was a little faster.
I think he was. As said, Facu has gears. I didn't.
Let's make it clear. Daniel didn't have had a problem in his bike, and the gear cable just got stuck, so he could not switch gears. So he was like, was it the fourth gear?
Third or fourth, yeah.
Third or fourth gear. So for when you go down, it's okay, but we did a trail that it had like there was a pinch climb, that was a proper pinch climb, and there was the section at the end that it would also help to have a lower gear.
Just to have a lower gear, just to get a few pedal strokes in and get over the...
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't have that. I did what I could. I ran up the hill. And I hit my sections pretty well, the downhill sections.
What did you think about the trail, though?
I love it.
It was good,
I simply love it. Could we just eliminate that pinch climb then?
Yeah,
all is good.
Back.
But no, it's a great trail. Just keep your head up when you ride it, because there can be walkers. But it is a technical, challenging, steep trail.
And it's pretty long.
It's long. You can get like...
Yeah, over 2 minutes.
2-minute runs from top to bottom, which I don't think you can do anywhere else in Denmark.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's really awesome. And also the variety of trails.
Yeah.
From the hard-packed start, where you start with the jumps in both sides of the big wide trail, to the loamy, techie sections down both sides of the ridge. Very awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. So guys, thanks for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as we did creating it. It's a completely new experience for us. Really had fun going to the forest with Daniel. He was super kind to come, and he had a lot of patience with me when I was telling him, like, can you go up again? Can you go up again? Can you come back and we film it again? And then we had a good time here in the studio having a nice chat. If there's anything you would like to see in this podcast, like people you want like to be interviewed, questions you'd like to be asked, or things we could do, please leave it in the comment sections down below. We'll take all those suggestions and implement it for future episodes. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps out, and this way you won't miss anything that comes in the future. And give us a like for the algorithm, because it really helps us out to keep doing those videos. See you in the next one, guys. Peace.